Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Kai has returned!
Who?
The Master of Pain, Beast of Vengeance, Maker of Widows. Okay, I used to work with Oogway.
Oh, Master Oogway.
Silence!
Hi everyone, and welcome to a new week's villain discussion, of course hosted by Lord of Shadows, myself. I felt like, since I watched, Kung Fu Panda 3, 3 or 2 days ago at the movie theater, I felt like, I think it's about time, we talk about Kai. Also, known as the Collector, but just like in the movie, like he said by himself, Master of Pain, Beast of Vengeance, Maker of Widows. And of course, nobody ever fucking remember who the hell it was. I mean, after all, it passed 500 years since, Kai died. Because overall, Oogway, I think he was 1,000-year-old, when he, went to the spirit realm, So, it makes sense, why a lot of people, doesn't remember it. The one thing also I wish to say about Kai is, he was voiced by Bernard, one of the most greatest actor, legends in acting, J.K. Simmons. For the ones who doesn't know him, he also portrayed, main antagonist of the music drama movie Whiplash, who actually played a character named by Terrence Fletcher. I watched the movie and his performance was brilliant. This, drum teacher and everything, tried to, in the beginning, try to torture, this main character, for not being, a superstar, to destroy his dream in short terms, his performance was brilliant. After all, like I said, J.K. Simmons is a really awesome actor. And of course, don't forget to mention what other character J.K. Simmons played. J.J. Jameson, the main news master, in the Spider-Man universe. Or should I say the greatest news asshole, right? Who was always against Spider-Man. And of course, love him so much that he every single time kissed his ass when he looked at himself in the mirror. Okay, well, let's move on. So, like I say, Kai was voiced by J.K. Simmons, and his performance as this character, as the main villain, was brilliant. The voice, the measure of his voice, the volume, the sarcastic sound, black sense of humor, being arrogant, it was brilliant. His performance as Kai was brilliant. Okay, that's one thing. So, let's move on, with Kai. So, in the short terms, he was a former Brian Arms with Oogway, and upon, his return to the mortal realm, he became a spirit warrior. And of course, though that he can steal Kung Fu warriors' chi from them, and his scheme is to defeat every single Kung Fu master, and also, of course, the main protagonist, Po the Dragon Warrior, the one who will defeat him in order to take over China. Because overall, the one thing when I talk about Kai, his backstory is really original. When a lot of people, when they saw Kung Fu Panda 3, I should say, young adults, let's put it that way, they would think of Kai, as a solid villain. A really solid villain. Because, his backstory is very classic. He was a brother in arms, with Oogway, they were best friends, they fight, against they fight with each other, against all the other enemies, and of course, one time, Oogway was, injured, and of course, Kai grabbed him and took him, to a panda village, when Oogway and Kai, of course, learned chi, and of course, when Kai learns the chi, he wanted to use, for himself, or should I say, to become, to make himself powerful by stealing, chi from other Kung Fu masters, his flashback is very, very typical, because beginning, like I said, he started, as a friend of Oogway, and then, of course, when he learned the power of chi, he was he became, so obsessed, being stronger, and stronger, or should I say, power hungry, in short terms, he became, an ultimate threat, not only to the pandas, not only to Sheep and the others, but also mostly to Oogway, and of course, Oogway, kick his ass, and transport him to the spirit realm, which there took him 500 years to take over Oogway's chi, because all of Oogway is dead, spiritually, and went to the spirit realm, and at the beginning of the movie you can see Oogway and Kai fighting, and of course Kai trying to steal his chi, even if Oogway give up to himself, you can take my chi, but there will always be someone to stop you, and of course who the hell this could be? Po, none other. Just Oogway predicted, that he was gonna be the one who stopped Tai Lung, but that's a different story. So the story, like I say, his beginning, to come to the mortal realm and everything, like, is very, very classic. Even if he's flat, his backstory is very, very classic. Like I say, like he began as a friend of Uguay, brother in arm and everything, and of course, like, when he became obsessed with chi after he learned it, he was a power-hungry bastard, who wanted to take like chi or from other kung fu masters. Uguay stopped him, and in that way, like all the other normal like villains who are obsessed with powers, they think he thought like Uguay betrayed him, which technically Kai betrayed him, not Uguay him, But whatever. So occupation, like I said, occupation. When we talk about him as a villain, he's an evil, powerful spirit warrior. I mean, even if he came to the mortal realm, even if you like Poe at the end, when they fight each other, like Poe tried to ascend to the spirit realm with the whooshing finger hole, and of course they try on him, but of course didn't work, because after all he's spirit warrior on his short terms, ghost, phantom. The choice how to name him, as a ghost is all yours, ladies and gentlemen. It's all yours, But what about so as a villain, we talk about his description. He's literally, he's just a normal this gray, big ball, with just big, gigantic, almost supernatural looking like horns, and everything, with green googly eyes, like with this green green blades, and of course the one thing that really amused me, when Kai steal the chi from other kung fu masters, he put him on his belt, which he made him look like some kind of a gunslinger, of the Wild West, which actually really kind of cool, in some sort of way. When we talk about his power skills, okay, when we talk about his power skills in the Kung Fu Panda 3 movie, he proved himself, to have high intelligence, his ability, like I said, to steal the chi from others and turn them into jade creatures, under his commands, or should much more say, mind control puppets, in some sort, or should I say, empty shell mind control puppets. Let's just put it that way. Also, he also proved himself, in this movie, he proved himself to have this high level fighting skills, martial arts expert, superhuman strength, because after all he's a spirit warrior, and of course durability. No, I have to say, all the fighting, when Kai was fighting, against the monkey, tigress, Mantis, Mantis and the others, and also Shifu, he really proved himself to be a really tough warrior, a very strong one. After all, if he was a brother in army with Uguay, and he's old, 500, and it passed 500 years, we can easily put he could be a really, really strong opponent, Well, also his hobbies, like I say, his hobbies, like I say, taking the chi of others that he defeated, and of course, gloating about, himself, he is the legend, like I said, master of pain, beast of vengeance, in the short terms, Kai is also villain the type, he doesn't like to be forgotten, because every single time, when he came, to, like I said, the valley, or when he returned to the mortal realm, every single time, even Shifu said, who? Who the hell is Kai? And he was so pissed, I don't like to be forgotten. Mostly all villains, especially I like the old legends, like when we talk about villainy, and when they try to make a spectacular return to evil, let's say, let's put it that way, they almost do that because they wanted people to remember them, who they really was, and to bring again that fear they was spraying, for example, El Macho 20 years ago, or even like I say Kai 500 years ago, in that kind of way, if you know what I mean. When we talk about, like I said, his goals is very, very simple. Not only, like I said for a couple of times, that he wants to steal the chi from other defeated kung fu masters, but also, like I said, his main goal is not only to make himself stronger with others' chi, but also revenge, revenge. He revenge against Uguay, or when you saw the movie. Technically, is he wanted to destroy Uguay's legacy. What he his symbol. Everyone that he trained. In some sort of way, totally in general Uguay's legacy. So when you talk about his personality, like I said, they mostly the old tales said he was this fearsome, power hungry warrior Kai. Like I say, found a way to chi from others and everything. Even the one thing I also like I said, when we talk about his personality, Kai, like everyone knows, holds great hatred, like I said, not only to Uguay but also to pandas. But when you saw the movie, you can understand why he hates pandas, because like they were the one who teach Uguay, how to control, how to create and control chi. So that's why in the beginning, since he came to the mortal realm, he wanted to steal the chi from every panda, because like he thought like they're the beginners of chi, they're like the strongest, even if he didn't know that all these years have passed, like they became lazy. If you saw like Poe's father, and the others, hugs, or like Mamie, like, oh, look at this, I'm beautiful, blah blah blah, whatever, So I mean, the one thing, like I said, his personality. He's arrogant, black sense of humor, very self-confident. He's an idol to himself. Every single time when he says his nicknames and everything, he's proud of his strength. Even if he even if you're in the battles, you can see sometimes he is not that powerful as it seems. Even if he was described by the directors and everyone, he's an evil spirit. Technically, he is. So overall, like I say, his fighting skills overall were really good. Even if Kai was the first supernatural villain that Poe ever faced, and even if like they said, the only way to defeat Kai was to battle him, chi against chi, in some sort of way. I mean that's quite very simple, because all this happened with all the villains in Kung Fu Panda. Like the beginning of the Poe's training of Kung Fu when he was battling like Tai Lung, or the same thing the inner peace when he was battling Lord Shen, and now we came to Kung Fu Panda 3 when he was battling like Kai for to learn how to learn chi so he can defeat him. Only with that way you can see even how Kai is very 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 strong. The one thing like I said also the one thing I really picked up about Kai is that he shares at least two similarities with Tai Lung and Lord Shen, because not only the both not like the other two were he was the main villain of the Kung Fu Panda movie, but also as I said, they were all they're all vengeful, evil from the past, and don't see Poe as a threat until of course the end of the movie, which make them mocking and are underestimating Poe, which of course lead to their final defeats. For example, Tai Lung was in the spirit realm, Lord Shen was knocked out by the rest of his firework type cannon, and of course Kai will all exploded because he had too much power, or should I say too much chi in his body when when Poe gave it to him. Even if anyone doesn't know, the name Kai most often translated to Chinese means victory, and also simplified Chinese Kai or open in some sort of way. Also, the one thing also Kai also remind me of is he's very similar to Drago Bloodfist, because when we talk about his design, and the one thing he's also one of the few demonic villains who appeared in Kung Fu Panda franchise, for example, alongside how was the one from the Kung Fu Panda series, Ki Pa, right? Ki Pa, and of course his demon army, and of course Jiang Shi and the Mongolian fist demon, And the one thing the one thing also remind me Kai is in the way how about Kratos, the anti-hero from the Gods of Wars, because his blade not connected with chains, and the way how he drawn them all around, and back together, remind me a lot of Kratos. The also one thing I also remember to tell, even if I'm not a big fan of My Little Pony, he really remind me of the villain who, how was it called? T-Rex. Remind me a lot of T-Rex, because they both steal power from enemies, but when they counter them, very, very, very connected, Because I mean, overall, every single time, every single year, or a new series, or a new comic, or a new movie, every single time when a new villain is created, after all these villains across the history, existed, every single new one will have some similarities with the old ones. It's very logical, elementary, Watson, elementary. So overall, like I said, let's go in general. So overall, like I say, his past is very classic, You know, after like he learned Chi, you know, he became like this power hungry, you know, bastard, you know, who wanted more and more. Like, you know, he wanted power, he wanted to be strong, like he wanted to conquer China. So in that way, like I say, he wanted to defeat all the Kung Fu masters so he can steal them Chi. And of course, like, you know, the most precious in his possession is Wu, which he used him as a necklace, not like, you know, bullets, you know, as a gunslinger, you know, just like the other ones on his belt. You know, which is really kind of, you know, cool, you know, because like you can see like this, like the most precious of all his like jaded, you know, possession in some sort of way. You know, there's one thing. Also, like I say, his goal is very simple. Or I should say, one of the most old school villain dreams. You know, like for example, like we know alongside with world domination, you know, being immortal. You know, even if Kai is somehow immortal, you know, Kai, you know, his goal is revenge, or type of revenge, destroy someone's legacy, some sort of way, you know, because just like Kai saying, like, you know, I fought by his side, you know, I loved him like a brother, and he betrayed me in the way how he see it, even if it's the other way around, you know. And of course, like, you know, like he said, like, you know, Wu has destroyed my dream, you know, and now I will destroy everything he has created, you know. In some sort of way, like I say, he wants to destroy Uguay's legacy, and the way how when he fought Shifu and destroyed his temple and his statue, I mean, he almost actually did it, you know. And also, like I say, in this movie, he proved himself to be one of the most strongest opponents that Poe ever faced, not only in the series but also in the movies, you know, because like I said, like the director said, he's the first supernatural villain that Poe ever faced. And of all the villains that were in Kung Fu Panda franchise, I mean, for me, the first one I really liked was Kai. Of all the villains, you know, that I ever seen, including Tai Lang and Lord Shen, Kai for now is the only villain I really like in the Kung Fu Panda franchise. I mean, his design was really awesome. His personality is really, you know, dark and, you know, very actually good. You know, his fighting skills are really impressive. You know, and his powers, you know, to control Chi is also very impressive, or should I say, fascinating. You know. Like I said, I like his design, you know, I like, you know, his idols, I know his goal, you know, mostly, you know, in the way how he, you know, swings with the blades. That's the one more thing I really like about him. So, with all being said, I mean, like I said, I think I said everything. So, I think we came to the point where we can see how much I can give him from 1 to 10 to Kai. So, I mean, like I said, he is. Actually, I can confirm it officially. You know, he is a very solid villain. His past is very classic. His goal is also very classic. You know, his powers, you know, are very impressive. You know, controlling the Chi and everything. You know, and fighting skills. You know, he really proved to be a tough, strong warrior. That he, you know, in the way like he destroyed all the Furious Five and even Shifu and take them, except Tiger because she escaped. You know, and take them, you know, and transform it into like this genuine type, you know, like green bullets, you know, so you can use them, you know, as a kind of puppeteer, you know, to manipulate them, you know, with the mind control and everything. I mean, he's really impressive, but there are still a few things that is missing inside him, you know, as a villain. But like I say, he's a solid villain, so I will give him a nice 7 out of 10. Yeah, I will give Kai 7 out of 10. I mean, he's a good, solid villain. He's all, like I say, his past is very classic, very old school. His goal is also very old school, you know, to be like, to complete his revenge, and to being stronger, you know. But like I said, 7 out of 10 is fair enough for a villain like Kai. Also, again, J.K. Simmons, he really did a great job to voicing him, you know, the character design, you know, the one who they're designing, they really made a masterpiece, you know, him as a villain, like to see like this great ball, you know, with his, and I really have to say, I really like his horns, because like, you know, when he makes like his dramatic entrance, not only the one thing is intimidating his blades, but also especially his horns and googly eyes, you know, green. I mean, I really, you know, he's really impressive. Yeah, he's really impressive. So I think I'm done. So here again, you know, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Give me first thing is what you personally think about Kai. Give me your personal opinion as a villain. Do you really like J.K. Simmons? You know, who was the one who voiced him? You know, if you also have your own personal villains to be described on the comment section down below, just put that villain's name and I will discuss it as your own personal wish. Drop a like, I appreciate that. And if you didn't like the video, it's your own problem. I mean, that's the way how I roll. So, peace everyone, have an awesome day. Lower Shadows like always, signing off. See you next time.